right here, right now. Stephen Budin is here. We got some major issues to discuss today.
Yeah, last week was a pretty big event. There was a Fed meeting. We talked about it last Monday that the Fed was going to hopefully announce some stimulus, and sure enough, they did. But what happened for the first time in Fed history, Chairman Bernanke really outlined when and why he's doing what he's doing. And it really was a major policy shift which impacted the markets. The markets really had a good week last week. But basically, the Federal Reserve has two main mandates. They have to keep unemployment manageable and inflation manageable. It's called a dual mandate. So traditionally, when they would raise or lower interest rates, they would keep the unemployment and inflation issues kind of balancing off each other. But what they said last week was, we're going to really just focus on employment. And they said we're going to keep rates low through 2015. They're going to be doing some asset purchases. So the fact that they can keep these two issues now sided towards unemployment, that really is a major shift. So as we're going forward and we're reporting on the unemployment rate or the number of people working, that's what the Fed is really going to look at as they look at potentially more stimulus. And you were asking me off camera about the $40 billion a month in mortgage securities they're buying.
Right.
That's a lot. If you take that over through 2015, like Bernanke pretty much said he would, that's over $1 trillion that they're going to be pumping into the system.
But then the inflation factor comes in, and how are they going to curb that?
And that's the interesting question. In his press conference, one of the reporters asked him, and he said, I don't know. And this is the first time that you've had this type of thing happen. And it's interesting for the textbooks, for the historians, but nobody really knows 3 to 5 years out, how do you put this genie back in the bottle? I mean, they're printing all this money, they're supplying all this stimulus. There's no inflation yet. Who knows if and when it'll come, how they can stop it.
One of the interesting phenomena of the Clinton administration was the tech thing up in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And it was all stocks, and a lot of them were just worth about the paper they were printed on.
Yeah.
But now technology is actually making major strides in the economy.
Yeah, and this is the second big issue. And I was in a cell store over the weekend buying something, and I was noticing everybody's trading in their phones for smartphones and tablets, the iPads and the other tablets. And I really think you're seeing a cultural shift here because everybody's going to be trading in their phones for these smartphones, and every component, every service. Like I just paid a coffee bill the other day using my iPhone without even bringing cash or a debit card into the store. So you're seeing a lot of these shifts taking place. And I think over the next 5 or 10 years, you're really going to see an enormous change in how we operate with these handheld devices. And I just read this morning that there are 23 iPhones being ordered every second. Wow. The iPhone 5, I should say, every second, and they're expecting millions of these to be on order. And the tablets, that are a little bit bigger, basically allows you to do everything from order food to watch football on your tablet. So I think that it really presents a phenomenal opportunity. So speaking of football, do you want to remind everybody who won our game this week?
Yes, fantasy football. Steve versus Casey.
Yes.
Casey's buying lunch. Let's just say that.
So it just goes to show the tablets really do have some good benefits.
Lisa, well, I guess we'll be right back because we don't have enough time to talk about law.
Yeah.